have two meds.
Yeah, I just forgot one. I'll reprogram
So
it.
is that like we can mark?
So yeah,
like
it's like
on
marking
the-
that
like
you
the
did
brains?
something. Yeah, but so we did when you leave or arrive. No, what did we do? We didn't do arrive in when you first get there because we figure the baby's usually hooked up to something you're not messing with, that you write your time down. But this keeps a track for you. So then when you leave the unit, you can say leave, in isolate, that kind of thing.
That's just for us to.
That's for us, so that when you print the report at the end, it's all in there.
So we're gonna be required to print this.
No, you're not
Oh.
required. No, you don't have to use the buttons.
No,
It's
no,
just,
okay.
but it
So
does.
It's labeled.
It'll label it at a time. It'll timestamp it. But this will also do your vitals Q15 if you don't want to do pictures. So when you print that report, your vitals every 15 is going to be on there.
And when you left.
And when you left, and when you.
Right, so a lot of times like, what time do we leave?
But that's not part of the report. Like so if this says 6:52 and you wrote 6:54, it's not part of the chart. Don't worry about that. It's just
To help
to
out.
try and help you.
Yeah.
And if
Your
we didn't
documentation
print it
that you
out,
do
is
is your
it in the event
documentation.
review?
It is in there.
Okay.
That's nice.
It's
The other thing that does is it grabs a 14-second strip of whatever's on the monitor and records the vitals for you at that time. It doesn't take a sec, but it will record it on that time frame.
Does this monitor automatically update for daylight savings?
We did not set clock sync,
Yeah,
so
so it's gonna be off when we change time.
you'll have to turn daylight savings on or off, which is pretty easy to do. Biomed knows how to do it.
Well, no, it's just that it doesn't get done and then you're hitting these, trying to mark things at the time it's.
Remember, legal documentation is the chart that you write. It
Oh,
is
yeah.
not your monitor data.
Yeah,
But-
but if you're using it to go back,
Yep,
it's too bad that the monitor cannot be set up to do
We-
location.
we can do clock sync, which pings a server, and then will adjust the time, but it does not adjust for daylight savings time because not everybody uses daylight savings time. So Arizona doesn't use daylight savings time. Other parts of the world
I
don't
wish
use
we
it.
did.
So
The bottom button was respiratory change. I don't remember what it was. So like if you make a vent change or a cannula change or a CPAP change, just if that you don't have time to chart it, you can click it.
to change your time, you just highlight the date and time, and you can change it. Just highlight date and time. Just remember to hit save date and time.
We can change this though to make it do daylight savings.
No. No, if you turn on clock sync, you still have to adjust for daylight savings time. You have to tell the device it's on or off. Otherwise, you're gonna be off by an hour. Any questions on code markers? Okay. We're gonna skip sync because we'll do that one later. Roll of paper, we talked about that one. It just starts and stops your paper, doesn't print anything. Use the boomerang arrow or the more back key. Top one is your black and white cookie. I got black and white cookie up there. Just change it to a screen color. So if you need more light in the back of the ambulance, works kind of nice. You're out in the sunlight, works nice. I play a paramedic in Wisconsin. I never that bright, but I need that one. So, right. Evasive lines is next. You have 3 different evasive ports. We have it plugged into the top one. Hopefully it's the
I'm
top
gonna
one.
label it arterial.
So your Edwards plugs into there. To zero it, you're going to hook up your connection, hit 0. We don't have, I don't think, this one has evasive lines, that one does
Oh,
not.
okay, no wonder I'm like, where was it?
So, if you go to page 2, they don't have it turned on this one. Oh, this one has it.
Yeah.
So, your evasive lines.
So P1 is our part line?
Yep.
What's P2 for?
A different line, if you're going to have multiple lines, you can run up to 3 different lines on the device at one time. You can label them, so you can change P1 to ART, you can change it to an umbilical line, CVP, whatever line you want to call it,
ART.
you can call it. So, you click on P1, you can scroll down to your source label, and away you go. We don't have a line to zero with, so we can't show you how to zero it because there's nothing to zero. But it's, remember, if your order that you have to close and cap, make sure you do it correctly. If you don't do it correctly, you're only going to get one number. Either you're going to get a number or you're going to get a waveform. You will not get both. So if you only have one, you messed up your zeroing, or you need to re-zero. Make sense?
But to zero, if this was hooked up,
Yep.
would
Underneath the one, the second one that's open right now, would say 0.
That one here says 0, so is that what we?
So underneath P1, it would say 0. So you just hit that one when you're ready to zero it.
oh in the
Okay.
little box.
Yep.
Okay.
The quick access key. You good with that? This is those. If you got something up on the screen, hit your home key. Boomerang arrow will get you out of there. The bell. Let's go into the bell. Go to limits. Here's all the alarms for the device. Right? Anything that has a bell next to it is an alarm that we currently have turned on. Right? So heart rate 100 to 200 is what we got set in there. Map of 25 to 50 is what's set in there. If those alarms are going off and you can't get them to clear with that 90 seconds of quiet time, because remember this bell gives me 90 seconds of quiet time, I can go to the bell with the X, hit the bell with the X one time. Up next to your battery symbol, you get a red and white box that has a countdown of, I believe, 4 minutes on that monitor. Yours is 2. I believe we changed your monitor to 2. All right, so you get 2 minutes of quiet time. If you hit the bell with the X one more time, it's going to have the word on in that box. You've turned on silence for the whole entire call. All right. You will get visual prompts. You will not get any audible prompts. All right. Now, remember this is a computer. It logs all your button pushes that you do and don't do. So if you miss an alarm because you went and turned it to silence, when they look at your log for that call, it's going to say monitor was turned on, alarms were silenced. Shouldn't be the first 3 things that they notice on that chart, right? When they pull this and read the file.
Can't be disabled so that it's
Nope. Nope. Hit your home key, get rid of that box. Oh, leave it. Actually, leave that up. Do you got that still up? You got that still up? All right. Well, let's say your heart rate is 220, and you're comfortable with 220 for that patient, but you don't want it to be alarming the whole entire call. The top quick access key that says stat set. Hit stat set. What happened to your alarm parameter for that one now? Now what are your alarms? It's going to auto adjust 20% above and below what's currently on the monitor. Right? So that 220 is now going to be a normal, it's not going to alarm at it, but if it goes above that by 20% or below that by 20%, it's going to alarm. So once you get everything hooked up on your patient, come in here and hit stat set, and it dials that monitor to that
It does the
patient.
same for the SPO2?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
and it's only when the alarm is active.
So it's going, whatever you have connected to the patient, it will adjust those settings. It doesn't turn on any alarms, but it will adjust those alarms 20% above and below.
All the alarms that are connected.
Yep. Make sense? So get everything hooked up, come in here, hit stat set. And then if something changes and maybe now baby's heart rate comes down a little bit and you're comfortable with where it's at and it's now alarming at you, just come back in here and hit stat set again and it'll readjust those alarm parameters.
Optimize.
Make sense?
It's like the optimize button.
Mm-hmm.
Go down to log. Here's where you guys are all done with the call. You want to get data out of the device. All right. You want just your vitals. It's going to be print trends. So the second quick access key down is print trends. That is all your vital signs. Print trends. Print trends is just your vitals. So all your vitals will be on there. So select one of them. And then you can hit the roll of paper once you have it selected. And it'll print off your vitals for you.
Just those vitals, not.
Just pick anyone.
Well, I did, but where's the little paper?
So you gotta hit the solid dot to select it. And now it pops up there. You could scroll all the way down to the bottom where it says print, but it's a little cheap. So course, I picked one that has only a little bit of vitals on it, because it's 2 hours. So it would have whatever you had on there would be on that strip.
Oh, all of them? Well, there's some there and then there's bottom here.
So, all it, because it's on it,
Oh,
that's
so,
what
I
it
mean,
is.
Dang, okay.
so,
This one's set for,
But
yeah.
those are just like every 5 seconds.
I thought we were gonna take them out.
Well, this isn't ours, so it's just set however it's set.
Yeah.
But ours should.
Yeah.
I think they said that it was gonna do every 5 minutes,
This
so.
is pediatric, so this
We did not set those up to be similar to yours. The top one, the clipboard. So if you select the clipboard, home, clipboard. The top one is the case we are currently working, unless we had the monitor off for 2 minutes, and then it would be the second one down. So we select the one we want. And then you can print that one off. That's going to be a really, really long strip. That's all your timestamps, all your strips associated with those timestamps. So every time I hit one of those code markers, would be logged in there. If I did a whatever, would be in there. Gave energy. Once it gets to the rhythm strips, you can print it off. So that's all the stuff that it did. And then it has all the strips that are associated with each one of those stamps. Questions, concerns about that? We can print a lot of paper or not a lot of paper. And I asked, we can't just push this directly into Epic. It doesn't go directly in Epic. They don't have that button.
So once you've turned it off for 2 minutes, then it just gets stored in this
Yep.
clipboard log and you can go back and.
Yep, it'll go back, it'll show the last, I believe, 33 calls in there. I know, actually, here it says 150, but if you're running a 4-hour call, that's not gonna be 150 4-hour calls. A call is roughly a 30-minute time frame with data being collected. So I can do an 8-hour trip from Appleton, Wisconsin to Rochester, Minnesota. One way is 8 hours, and I don't run out of space on my monitor. And that's,
Is there a way to clear it though, like?
you don't need to. It's got FIFO memory, first in, first out. So it'll overwrite what the older stuff, so the new stuff comes in and works it out. You actually can't delete it.
What's the button below what looks like a monitor?
The colored clipboard.
It has a green arrow and then it looks like it can hook up to something.
This is USB. So if you were going to take the data out using a USB drive, you could take a USB drive, stick it in there, which you would never be able to do because of where the USB is located on this device. So it's right above.
Yeah.
It's right here. So you would have to be a contortionist
Oh, I felt it
and
yesterday.
have a really
Of course.
weird thumb drive to be able to do it.
I had to plug cords in that side.
Yeah. So, and then you'd probably have to have a 90-degree USB cable to be able to get it, because you wouldn't be able to get a straight stick in there. The one underneath that would be the envelope is case push, so we can push it to some charting systems, not all charting systems. So we can push it to a charting system, and then you could bring it in that way. EMS uses it a lot.